Hello everybody. Today I wanted to record a tutorial on how to install SMBX2 to your computer, as well as on how to get custom content called episodes working with your SMBX2 installation. So we're just going to dive in, because I know a lot of tutorials like to drag on, just talk, talk, and talk, but I just want to get to the necessities and get you playing SMBX2 and get you playing custom content as fast as possible. We're going to open up your web browser of choice. For me, it's Firefox. And you're going to want to open a new tab, and you want to click the address bar. You just want to search SMBX2. This will lead you to first result here, codehouse.woolsoft.ru. Just want to click on it. It'll lead you to this lovely page. Then you want to click Downloads. As of the upload of this video, SMBX2 is currently on beta 5.4. And I'm going to assume you do not have SMBX installed on your computer. If you do, you would use patch 4. But in this case, I'm going to just assume you do not have SMBX whatsoever. What you're going to want to do is click on Local Download. This will start downloading the installer to your computer. Although there is a problem, sometimes when you download the installer, it's going to glitch out and it's just not going to install to your computer whatsoever. It's going to say unknown time left and 0 bytes per second is going to do nothing. It's really annoying when this happens, but luckily there's a fix. Just want to cancel that. You only need to do this if that glitch happens to you. If it doesn't and it just downloads just by clicking on the button, perfect. But if it doesn't, you're going to want to have to, and this might be a little bit scary for some folks, you want to right click the button and you want to click Inspect. You're going to want to look for a link. And right here, form action equals sign, and then the quotation marks is going to show the link, the installer and such. You want to double click to select that text. You're going to press Ctrl+C to copy it, and then you're going to close out. You're going to open a new tab, and you're going to paste by pressing Ctrl+V into your address bar and then just hitting enter. And then that should download it properly. You only need to do this if clicking the button doesn't download it properly. And I know some folks don't like using inspect element. They don't even know what inspect element is. So for folks that have that as the case, I'm also going to include a direct link. This exact link here. I'm going to include this link in the description of the video as well, just so you can click that link and get it installed to your computer. Super easy. And now that we have the installer downloaded to our computer, we can minimize our web browser. We're going to open up our folder here, our Windows Explorer. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to your Downloads folder, and you're going to see the installer. Just want to double click this. And Windows is going to warn you. It's going to say it's protecting your PC. I have used SMBX for over 10 years. I can guarantee you there's absolutely no malicious software, no viruses within this installation whatsoever. So you're just going to want to click More Info, then you're going to click Run Anyway. I'm going to minimize the Explorer for now. And it's going to ask you to give it a destination folder. Now, I should warn you, the destination folder can't exist. So what I mean is, let's say we made a folder on the desktop, and we just name it SMBX2, right? And then we open that folder, and we grab the address, like this, Ctrl+C, then we paste it into the destination folder here. If we click Next, it's going to tell us directory already exists. But that's a super easy fix. After you create a folder such as this, you just click it, press the delete button on your keyboard, or in case you don't have a delete button on your keyboard, you should, but if for some reason you don't, you just right click and then click delete. And then you could click next, and then it should install perfectly fine. That's the method I like to do when it comes to selecting installation directory. You can also click Browse and just select any folder, then it'll install to that folder. We're not going to do that though. You can if you want to, but I won't. Then we're just going to click Next. There's going to be 4 options here. First option is Create Start Menu Shortcut. What this will do is simply give you a shortcut in the Start menu, so you can search up and access SMBX2 easily. As I already have an SMBX installation on my computer, I'm going to deselect this, but I personally recommend for you to have it enabled. And then to create worlds, GIFs, screenshots, and costume links and install path, I would just leave that enabled. It gives you shortcuts in the installation folder to commonly used folders or subfolders in the SMBX installation. I'll show you what it means after we install the software, but I just suggest leaving it on. Open install directory after completion. This will simply open up a Windows Explorer menu with where SMBX2 is installed. I suggest leaving this enabled, just so you can make a shortcut to the installation if you need to, just to make it easier to access. And then lastly, set SMBX2 as the default program to open .level and .levelx files. .level and levelx files are basically the levels or courses that you can play within SMBX. I suggest leaving this enabled. I won't, as I already have an installation of SMBX2 and I don't want to mess up my actual installation, as I'm only making this installation for the tutorial and then I'm going to delete it afterwards. But I recommend all 4 of these options you should have enabled. And then you're just going to click Install. And it's going to install. It will take 30 seconds to maybe 3 minutes, depending on what kind of hard drive you have in your computer. So we'll just let it run. It's got a lot of files to extract. And there we go. Looks like it has finished. It has opened a new folder for us. And it'll say setup was completed successfully. You just click close. And now you can see the 4 shortcuts that were talked about before. The worlds folder is especially important. We'll get into why once we're installing episodes. But for now, we just want to verify we installed SMBX2 correctly. So what you could do is you can just double click on the exe. Or, if you'd like, you can hold down right click, drag to your desktop, and click Create Shortcuts here. And that'll make a shortcut, which you can double click and access SMBX2 at any time. So you can either double click the exe directly in the folder, or make a shortcut and double click the shortcut. And then that will open up a launcher. By default, there are 4 episodes included with your installation of SMBX. There's the Princess Cliché, there's the Demo Stages, there's the Mario Challenge, there's the Invasion 2. Now, if you want to play an episode, you simply just click on it in the selector here. You verify you have the episode correctly selected because it'll save the Invasion 2, since we clicked the Invasion 2, and then you just click play. What that'll do is we'll load up SMBX2. Super simple, super easy. And just to give a quick rundown on controls, these are the default controls, by the way. You can rebind to wherever you want in the launcher. You can also use controllers, but for keyboard, Z is to jump, A is to spin jump, X is to run, and S is to also run, but is considered an alternative key to activate certain abilities. And you also use the arrow keys to move. And there we go, look at that. We control perfectly fine. Looks like everything's loaded correctly. Perfect. And we just close out the window here. And now you can verify that you have installed SMBX properly. Now, you may play the content that comes with SMBX. And you may think, gee, it's pretty fun, but I'd like to install more. And that's the next part of the tutorial on how to get extra content for SMBX2. Now, if you want to install extra episodes for SMBX2, you're going to want to open up your web browser again. And you're going to want to type into your address bar SMBX game. And then hit enter. And then you'll want the website www.smbxgame.com, which I will also link in the description if you do not want to search for it. Then you open it up. It may perform a security verification on you. Don't worry. That's perfectly normal. Perfectly expected to happen. You just let it run. And then it should lead you to the home page here. And there's 3 tabs above. There's SMBX Home, SMBX Links, and SMBX Forums. You want the SMBX Forums, as that's where most of all content is hosted. And then you want to click Episodes. And this will give you a whole wonderful list of SMBX episodes that you can download and play. Some of these may just be demos, and some of these may be full contents. Now, what you can do is you can click on any of these links here. It'll open up a page. And for this tutorial, we're going to install my upcoming episode, Project Oil, which should be releasing the same day as this video goes live. So since it's not technically out yet as of recording this video, I already have a preview draft open in another browser. But to select, if you want to download any other episode or to download Project Oil when it releases, you simply just click on one of these links here. But for the case of this video, I'm installing one of my own episodes just to make sure everything goes proper. And typically episode forms will have a logo, probably tell you a little bit about the story, give you some screenshots, some YouTube videos, and look at that, installation instructions. That's where this video will go once it's done recording. And most importantly, there's a download button. Now this will either be an image or just plain linked text. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to right click on this, open a new tab. And you want to navigate to that new tab. Look at that. We have been brought to a Google Drive page. Super simple. It may be slightly different depending on what website a project developer uploads to. But for Google Drive, you just want to go to the top left and want to click download. That will download either a .zip file or a .rar file to your computer. Now we're completely done with the web browser, so we can minimize it. And we can open up Windows Explorer window and navigate to our downloads folder. You can see that the zip is now in our downloads folder. Perfect. You're going to want to click on it. You want to press, after you make sure you have it selected, you're going to press Control plus X. And that will copy it to your clipboard. And then you're going to want to navigate to your Worlds folder. And this is why I said the shortcut to the Worlds folder was important earlier. You're going to want to open up your SMBX2 installation. And then you're going to want to click on the Worlds shortcut. If for some reason you do not have a Worlds shortcut, you can click on Data, and then go all the way down to the bottom, and then Worlds. But of course, if you have a shortcut, you just double click the shortcut, it'll bring you to the Worlds folder. Now, once you have this window selected, you're going to press Control plus V. And that will bring over the zip file. If for some reason you cannot copy the file by pressing Control plus X, you just have 2 windows open and you simply just drag it over. Both work perfectly fine. Now, the last thing you need to do before we can open this episode is extract it. Now, by default, Windows can only extract .zip files. If the episode that you download is in a .rar file perchance, you'll need to install external software. I myself use WinRAR to extract .rar files as well as .zip files, but the choice of software is up to you. Although which software or how to get said software is outside the scope of this video, mostly because there's tutorials on how to get said software on YouTube already. So if you would like to install WinRAR, for example, just search up WinRAR tutorial on YouTube. But I will show you how to extract zips using the built-in Windows function, just in case you don't want to install any external software. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to hold down right-click, drag into an empty space in the same window, and you want to click Extract. Now this will open up a extract compressed, in brackets zipped, folders. Now what you're going to want to do is, in this case of Project Oil, it already comes in a folder. So you're going to want to remove the text here. You want to make sure it says whatever drive it's on, for my case, C. And then it's going to list the address of where SMBX is installed. And it should say SMBX2 at the end, /worlds/ and then it should just be empty space. If there's anything here, for example, like let's say somebody named their episode Mario 2. Remove that. You want it to look pretty much like this here. And then just click Extract. And it will take a little bit, as SMBX episodes do consist of a lot of files. A lot of PNG files, a lot of .text files, a lot of .lua files. Look at that. We just click on the folder here, just to verify extracted properly. We just double click the folder. We'll see a bunch of stuff. .png files, .ini files, .text files, and some folders as well. This is what it should look like if you're installing Project Oil. It may look slightly different depending on what episode you're installing, but this is generally what an episode folder will look like. And that is all the file manipulation you need to do. Now we can go back to the original SMBX2 folder. We can either run the .exe file or run the shortcut that you have put on your desktop if you chose to do so. It should boot up the launcher again, and oh, look at that, there's a new option. Project Oil. Venture to the polluted lands in the Mushroom Archipelago. Stop the factory before it stops you. Now quickly, before we verify if this is running properly, I'll show you quickly how to rebind your controls. It's right here, this little option, Configure Controls, and that's going to open up a window. And you could select any keyboard option to bind to. Also enable or disable if it's on a controller. For example, if I'm not playing on a controller, this is keyboard controls. If I'm playing with a controller, I can rebind the keys like so. And then you just click Save once you manipulate the controls to your liking. Then you just click the window again, and it'll bring you back to the episode selection. Just to confirm, you click on an episode in the bar here in the sidebar when you want to play it. And then you click Play. And after giving it some time to load, it will, well, load. We can verify that it's working properly by the fact that it's showing this world map, and then we just load into level super quick. Cool cutscene. Level. Everything works perfectly fine. And that's it. You now know how to install SMBX, and you also now know how to download and play levels, episodes made by the community. I do hope that this tutorial was clear and concise. If it wasn't for any reason, please feel free to comment. I will try to help you as best as I can if you have any questions or are having any troubles with the installation. But that's it for me. I do hope that you have a lot of fun with SMBX2. I hope you get to enjoy some awesome game content. And if this tutorial helped you, you can help me back by clicking the like button on this video, which will shoot this into the algorithm, and in which it will get to more people, and which it will help more people. And helping people is awesome. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments. I will answer them as fast as I can. And I do hope you have a wonderful day. Goodbye for now.